Okay, today's episode is brought to you by Epicor. Every team knows the value of hard work and taking pride in what you build and practicing every detail to get the best results. But no one player, no matter how amazing, can do it all alone. Working together makes getting the win easier. At Epicor, the All-Stars are hardworking manufacturers and distributors who create and deliver the things we all need, from aerospace to electrical and medical devices. Epicor ERP solutions are created by industry experts to help make every day easier. Seeing your whole supply chain is easier, managing logistics is easier, responding to price changes is easier. From small businesses with big dreams to growing enterprises with global vision, we'll equip you with the right tools to move forward, think ahead, and lead the way. Because as the clock ticks down, you need to make the most of every hardworking minute. Easier doesn't cut corners, easier finds the lane. Discover your success at
All right, guys.
www.easierwithepicor.com. Thank you, Bull.
All right, there you go. So, guys, Adam Schefter was on the Pat McAfee show, and he says, well, I think his quote was, "The sense I'm getting is that both the Browns and the Giants are going to pass on quarterback." What is happening? No good?
Toss this up. We got to stop. Here it is.
Oh, okay, here's the comment.
And to me, it just feels like Tennessee is increasingly locked in on Cam Ward at number one. And I know they'll listen to offers. Right now, barring some blockbuster offer, I'm expecting the Titans to stay at number one and take Cam Ward, and we'll see how this works out here in the next few weeks. But that now leads to the question, okay, where is Shedeur Sanders going? That, to me, now looms as the most intriguing, interesting question heading into the NFL draft in Green Bay, because we do believe that Cam Ward will wind up going number one. And it certainly feels like the Cleveland Browns are inclined to look elsewhere aside from quarterback. And it's starting to feel like the New York Giants at number 3 are starting to look elsewhere other than quarterback. So if the Browns don't take Shedeur Sanders at 2, and if the Giants don't take Shedeur Sanders at 3, and that is the feel that I'm getting recently, where is Shedeur Sanders going? And I think the two spots that you look at today, 3 weeks out, as we tape this, and this is a fluid process and it changes. But today, 3 weeks out, I'm looking at the New Orleans Saints at number 9 and the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 21, who never, ever would have thought that Shedeur ever would slide to them. And he probably still won't. But there was a time where we said Aaron Rodgers wouldn't slide to 23. He was going to go number 1, and he wound up sliding on draft day all the way to number 23. And that's why, to me, this looms as the most interesting question. Is Shedeur going to get past 2 and 3? My guess today would be yes. How far is he going to slide then? New Orleans, I think, has the real possibility of facing a very interesting decision. He would make sense there. I could totally see that being the pick.
Starting to feel to me like there's less and less of a likelihood that Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter get to the Patriots. The Browns and Giants have at least given off some signals over the last week or two that they could take position players, Hunter, Carter, at 2 and 3, and then double back on day 2 and get quarterback.
See, we are to blame as a society for this. We're all to blame. All the fans, all the media, we are to blame. This is what has become our beloved industry, that we have insiders. We never even had insiders, whatever the hell that was. Now insiders, it's breaking news and we're playing 3-minute clips about their speculation and their feels. I mean, it's because of the over-coverage of this event, because fans love it, and we can't get enough information. There's no factual-based information there. I don't know. Am I being unfair in saying there's no factual-based information there?
I would say,
like, the fact that Albert and Adam Schefter both essentially said the exact same thing. There's a feeling. There's my feeling.
Well, go ahead. My only thing with it is, I got 2 things on this whole topic. The first one is, when I heard that, it immediately made me think about Zach Jackson tweeting that. He said, after I was doing all the talking with all these people, and nobody has him really as a first-round grade. on Shedeur. And I was like, that's kind of odd to hear him say that, but okay. And then it made me think about when everybody kept telling me I'm a hater and I'm crazy because I kept saying, I don't know why Shedeur, it's weird to me that Shedeur keeps recruiting the Browns.
Right.
I kept saying, why is he doing it? Like you should be recruiting everybody.
You
But
were
he
100%
specifically
right.
keeps picking the Browns. And I kept saying maybe he thinks that if the Browns don't take him, he potentially will slide far in the draft. So that's why he keeps recruiting the Browns. And I'm like, and right now when you hear this type of report, it's like, I was right. That's exactly what he was doing.
But do you believe there's any factual basis in what Adam Schefter and Breer are saying?
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, so two things on this.
Yeah.
One, I told you weeks ago there's going to be
Yeah.
volatility in this draft because there's uncertainty at the top.
Yeah.
Anytime there's uncertainty at the top, you're going to get weird things happen. Two, the reason this is coming the way it is, and the reason it's been sort of all over the place, is because the only thing that I can say confidently right now about the Browns is they don't know who they're taking. They have not decided yet.
Okay,
so
but-
that's why you get this. Because I think they have a pretty good idea. They got a pretty good sense. They still have another pro day to go through with Colorado.
Right.
They don't know with 100% certainty. As we sit here at 11:32 on Thursday, April 3rd, they don't know yet who they are taking.
Okay.
That is the only thing that I am 100% confident
So that
in right
makes
now.
sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So then how can any of us sit
Yeah.
here and say they are going to take X when the Browns don't know who they are taking?
Exactly. So I don't know why it's like we treat the things that Adam Schefter says affects betting odds on the draft.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because he's just speculating. I know he has a lot of insight. But Jimmy Haslam and Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski are not telling Adam Schefter what their plans are.
No, but they don't know. Like, they don't know who they're taking yet.
Right.
I know it sounds kind of insane to say.
No, I don't think it's insane at all.
Because I kind of thought when they took Baker,
yeah.
I talked to people well after the fact that John had pretty much made up his mind when he got the job. He wanted Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 100%? No, it wasn't 100%. But, I mean, John told me he knew when he got here.
Yeah.
He had
Okay.
pretty good sense he wanted to take Baker.
Right.
So I kind of went through this process thinking that they had a pretty good idea of who they wanted to take. But after spending 3 days in Florida, like, I can tell you, I don't think they know. I think they probably have a decent idea.
Yeah.
But it's not written in, like, there is no yellow pad from draft day of what was the kid's name, no matter what. I forget now. It
What
doesn't
was
matter.
his name?
It is so impactful.
Oh, man.
None of us can remember.
Vic, no.
I was going to say Callahan, but that
I was
wasn't
about to
it.
say.
No.
I was about to
Callahan,
say
whatever,
Vic
quarterback.
something.
It doesn't matter. But like they don't have, they're not at that point.
Yeah.
So it leads.
Bo Callahan?
No, it's not.
Jesus. Does anybody listen to us?
Vontae Mack.
That,
Vontae
that's
Mack.
it.
That's it.
Shout
Say
out to
something
Earl.
with a
Shout out
V.
to Earl. Shout out Earl.
Vontae Mack,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah.
We're not at. Is Mike blowing your eardrum out too now?
Yes,
Mike?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I did turn my.
That's why I didn't
headset
turn it
down.
up.
So,
Sorry.
so because there's no consensus within the team, that's why
Yeah.
you get. I told you guys last week. I get the feeling they're taking Travis Hunter. I think they're taking Travis Hunter. Do I know that? No, I don't know that because they don't know that.
Right.
But I just feel after talking to a bunch of people in Florida, I get the sense I think it's going to be Travis Hunter.
I think that the problem is that they're picking too high. Like, you know, in recent years.
No, the problem is they don't have a quarterback to take.
That's
that
true.
they like.
That's true
That's
too.
the problem.
That is a huge
But they can't be totally off Sanders, otherwise
That's
they
a
probably
huge
know who they were
problem.
picking. And I don't think they're meeting.
They still have to go through a pro day
they're having
with him.
Aren't they having a private workout with him tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. I bet you by this weekend or early next week, they make their decision.
It is. I don't even think it's the workout. It's the time with
conversation,
the kid. It's
yes.
the time with the. With
Of
the,
course,
with, I
yeah,
should
yeah.
say
The
kid.
workout doesn't matter.
The time with the players.
Yes.
And they invite the wives and the girlfriends and the parents and
Yeah.
anyone who's close to. They want to get to know the player and they want to get to know everyone who's in that player's inner circle.
Jason, I had, that's actually coming out tomorrow, but I spoke to Jay Gruden, former Washington coach,
Yeah.
Bengals OC.
We had him on here.
Yeah, long time.
UCSS guest, yep.
League in the
It was,
NFL.
it was a
Okay.
great time with
So
him.
I talked with him yesterday. The podcast will be out tomorrow. I said to him, during the draft process, have you ever been like, I want this quarterback, and then you met him and changed your mind? He said, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. One way or the other. Like, a guy wins you over, or the guy but in this case, I was talking specifically about he's like, yeah, it happened. I think he said it happened almost every year, that there was a quarterback that he liked, he met him, and then he was off the guy. And so, and it can happen the other way. You're like, I'm not sure about this guy. You meet him, you're like, oh man, this guy's all about football.
Yeah.
So maybe you move him up because you like, he's got the intangibles, talent's good, not great. And I think until they have an in-depth conversation with Shedeur, it's hard to know for sure.
I asked Andrew about this at the owners' meetings about how much time do you spend, and he didn't have an actual solid answer. I've talked to others who feel like when you're drafting that high, you spend about 8 hours with that person before you draft them. But there's various touch points. There's the Senior Bowl, there's the Combine, there's the private workouts. So it's not just one, but it's multiple interactions. It's multiple times, and it's wild when you think about it. So let's just take 8 hours, because that's what was kind of told to me. You are making – there's two ways to look at it. One is you can't really hide who you are in over an 8 hour span. It's going to come out, whatever that is, good, bad, or indifferent. Over various meetings, 8 hours is quite a bit of time. Yet at the same time, you are making a multi-million-dollar decision based on 1 day of work, because the normal American works an 8 hour day.
Right.
Usually.
That's true.
So you are basing your entire franchise decision on 1 day.
And maybe your entire career.
And maybe your career.
Yeah.
And the direction of the franchise on 1 day. Right. So 8 hours in one sense feels like a lot of time.
Yeah.
In another sense, it's not. But that's still a lot of time.
Yeah, sure.
Given the parameters with which they're dealing here.
Let me ask y'all a question. I thought about this yesterday after I seen this. The Browns, knowing the Browns coaching staff and knowing everything you know about the Browns, when it comes to development of players, which one you confident out of Shedeur, Travis, and Abdul that the Browns will be able to develop?
Well, I mean, I would say that Shedeur probably needs the most development of the three.
Okay. Are you confident that
Kevin
and Tommy Reese and company can develop?
I would say mid-tier confidence. I'm not highly confident.
What about Abdul Carter on the D-line? How confident are you that they could develop him and he could be something?
I guess I would say
Schwartz has a good track
I have
record
a
of
decent
developing
confidence in
Okay.
that.
Now,
defensive ends.
what about if they take Travis Hunter and they like him as a wide receiver? How confident are you that they could develop him into something?
I like their chances best with him, probably.
I believe Travis is the most talented player in this draft.
Okay.
So you've got the most to work with there.
And that's why the Browns haven't made their decision, because they know he's the most talented player. They know the defensive lineman's a great talent. Shedeur's not as talented as those guys, but quarterback means so much more that they have to be sure he's not good enough, because if it's close, they got to take the quarterback.
I mean, when Jimmy came out and said it could take a year or two, I gasped a little bit at the or two.
Sure,
and I don't know if that's him resetting expectations or if that's him jimmying and giving away a little bit too much of the secret sauce of what they're thinking. But if I've been pretty consistent. If you don't love the guys at the top, you can't take a guy just because you need a guy if you don't believe in him. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Ultimately, yes.
But you'll also get fired if you don't believe that they're any good and then they turn out to be really good.
That's right.
That's what's going to get you fired.
That's right.
But the part about Adam saying he could fall to 9 or 23, it wouldn't shock me at all. I think there's going to be a lot of volatility. I was told by a different team, Jackson Dart's probably going to be gone by mid to late teens. They feel like by 15 to 18, Dart will be off the board.
It only takes one team that likes you.
That's right.
That's it. 25 teams could think you nothing.
Will you be shocked?
Yeah.
If Dart goes before Shedeur?
No.
I wouldn't.
I'd be
Not
surprised,
at all. But not shocked.
Probably a little surprised.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't even be surprised.
Wait, if you said surprised if Dart goes before
If Dart goes
Shuck?
ahead of Shedeur.
Oh, Shedeur. Oh, sorry. I thought you said Shook.
Because
why would we be surprised about that?
Just but all the consensus has those
Shuck.
three. Shuck, I said that. Now I just doubt myself even when I'm right.
Yeah, I know.
Shook. He goes back and forth.
We've just assumed that Shedeur is the top 3, top 5.
Right.
I don't know what's that based on.
I guess we shouldn't be surprised at all because we're basing it on mock drafts.
I think that there could be a lot of volatility in this draft.
It
I've said
depends
that
who
for
likes
weeks.
which
All it
team
takes
likes.
is one team to
I
mess
just don't
up
buy
everything.
that. There's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks in the top 10. I don't buy that all of them are going to pass on Shedeur. I don't buy that. We'll see. I could be wrong. Maybe maybe Jackson Dart goes 6 instead of.
What was the year that E.J. Manuel went like early?
He was.
It was.
Well, it was
He
that
wasn't early.
I thought he was like top 10.
No. EJ, I feel like EJ
He was the first-round pick.
He was like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
Really?
He was the 16th pick in
16th.
2013.
I
He
mean, how
went
many-
before somebody that he wasn't supposed
How many
to.
teams needed quarterbacks when Pickett went? 22.
Right. But I don't think. I don't
No
know.
team took a quarterback until.
I don't think. I don't think people think that lowly of Shedeur compared to Kenny Pickett. I don't think.
I don't know.
Could be wrong.
I don't know.
It just matters. We get so caught up in what the mock drafts say that we think that's what the teams think, and who knows how accurate that is, if at all.
What about the dude that went to Tampa Bay, the quarterback that went, Freeman?
Josh Freeman, yeah.
Wasn't he early?
He was like 10 or 12, wasn't he?
Was he that high?
Mike, where did Josh Freeman
Josh
go?
Freeman was the 17th pick in the 2009 NFL Draft.
All right.
Somebody went before a quarterback.
I remember
and
saying
it
the
was
Browns
like,
should sign him
what?
at one point when one of my first couple of years here.
Josh Freeman was the third quarterback taken in that draft.
2000 what?
I got to figure out what you.
That was
9?
the 2009 NFL Draft. Can you name the other two quarterbacks before we move on?
In 2009 draft?
Were they any
2009.
good or no?
Yeah, one's still in the league.
The other ones was nothing?
The other one had a decent career, but is now
You
a
said-
commentator.
You said this is all in the first round of 2009.
There was 3 quarterbacks in the top 17 picks. Josh Freeman was 17. Can you name the
Joe
other
Flacco?
two? Not Flacco. Nope.
2009.
No.
They're both top 5 picks.
It's Matt Stafford.
Correct.
Ha!
Pick. And who was the number 5 pick that year?
Sam Bradford.
No.
No. Sam Bradford won.
He went one.
Oh yeah,
He was the last quarterback that got
paid.
big
Yeah,
money.
yeah. He messed
wasn't
up
Jake
everything.
Locker, was it?
It was not Jake Locker.
Ryan Tannehill.
Nope.
Oh, no.
I'll give you a hint. I don't know how the deal occurred, but it on NFL Draft Recap.com.
Oh,
it
Matt
has-
Ryan.
Who?
No,
Matt
Ryan
Ryan?
was one.
No,
overall.
it has this pick was from Cleveland. So somehow this was a Cleveland pick that another team made.
Of course.
You said he wasn't that good.
So he traded.
He made 2 championship games.
Oh.
Not Super Bowls, but
Mark
cha-
Sanchez.
bingo.
Oh, yeah,
There you go.
yeah,
5th pick in the draft that year.
Yeah, he wasn't that good.